Hi. Yesterday we talked about finding common denominators and least common denominator, also known as LCD. We're going to take that information today and talk about adding and subtracting fractions. We touched on this a little bit last week, but I would like to review it with you to make sure you have full understanding, okay? I'm also going to stop this video a couple times just because I need to send you small video increments in your email. So anyway, we'll do a couple problems, we'll stop, and then you can start the new video, all right? But let's go ahead and start. Get out this paper, which you should have in your notebook there. Pull this out. We're gonna look at the first one together. So it looks like we're going to do 1/2 plus 1/3. Now, I wrote the problems out vertically because I think that might be easier for you to understand. Having it written this way and organized this way might be easier for your work, okay? So then we can just find the equivalent fractions next to it. Now we know that 1/2 and 1/3, if you look at your fraction bars, here's 1/2, actually let me take all this off here. If we have 1/2 and we're adding we have 1/2 and we're adding 1/3, that they are two different size pieces. And because they're two different size pieces, we cannot simply go like this and say that's 2/2 or 2/3 because they're not the same value. So we need to make them into the same value. We need to make them all have the same size piece. And we do that, as you know, by finding equivalent fractions. So now we're going to take 1/2 and 1/3, and we're going to look at the denominators, the 2 and the 3, and we're going to think, what could be a common denominator with the numbers 2 and 3? If you're not sure, you can always come over here and make your little multiple chart and see what it would be. And you can see right away here that the lowest common denominator that we would like to use would be 6. So we're going to change them into 6. And use the magic 1, because anything times 1 doesn't change its value. It just renames the fraction. We're going to change this into 6, and we're going to change this one into 6, right? So go ahead and do this on your paper as I'm doing this one. So 1/2 times what? Think about the magic 1, right? Is here. 3/3. Times 3 times 3. Now you can go ahead and do this one on your own too. Did you get 2 6? So now we know we're adding. We have our common denominators, 6. We have 3 6 plus 2 6. Gives us how many 6? Well, if you look here, if we change this into 6, 1/2, as we know, gives us 3 6, and the 1/3 gives us 2 more 6, right? So how many 6 do we have altogether? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We also could look here. 3 plus 2 is 5. So we know that we have our final answer would be 5 6. Okay? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this video.